What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Run It Up episode number 203. We are here today playing some 25 cent, 50 cent, no limit Texas Hold'em on ultimatepoker.com. Playing a little bit of heads up action for today. I'm in for $50 and our opponent is in for more than that. What happened was I sat down, he sat down, he lost a buy-in to me pretty quickly with his ace-10 against my ace-queen. Flopped an ace, he turned to flush draw, or sorry, flopped a queen, he turned to flush draw, got it in with me, and that did not work out too well for him. As far as this hand goes, I kind of really want to check raise for straight up value. We have a very good hand, top pair, flush draw, he'll call us with worse, heart draws, king 10, other things like that. Very good river for us there. I think if he has queen X, he's not going to fold no matter what we do. If he has 6X, he's not going to fold no matter what. If he has like a flush draw or 10 high, 10-9 or king 10, I think it'd be better to check. But I feel like betting has got to be better. Nice. That's right. Nice start. Oh my god. Sorry. There we go. Much better, much better. Gonna just call here now that our opponent is down to his $7. I think min raising just lets him make too many correct decisions. He looks at his two cards and says, I like them, I'm all in, or not, and then folds. So I think min raising is the right play. Nice little profit town here, up about $40 right now. Gonna play a pretty long session in this, is the plan for now. We'll see how this goes, obviously, because anything can happen here on Run It Up. Anything can happen here on Run It Up. You don't even know who could just walk right in, sit down next to me, knock out our old friend here, the stalwart guardian of the treasure bullion over there. You never know who might come and stop by knocking out our friend over there. We'll have to see. Gonna start this hand with a bet. I think I should not have raised to 150 pre-flop. That seems less than good. Looks like we're gonna get not punished for it this time, however. Let's see if we can win this guy's last $6. This kind of feels like a little bullyish almost, you know? It's like we're at the playground. The guy's got $5.22 left. We've got all his money. We're just like, oh, how can I win your last $5? All right, let's see if we can do it, though. Come on, he looks like a guy. He doesn't need $5. He's got glasses he could go sell. He has a nice hoodie. At least he won't be cold when he's out on the streets after we're done with him. He'll be fine. Don't worry about him. Gonna have to see a flop here with the old hammer, 7-deuce offsuit. Pretty good flop for 7-deuce offsuit. My plan is to check and then raise all in probably because our hand is likely to be the best hand. Ooh, he just open shoves. I gotta tell you, I think we might have the best hand here, but I think I'm gonna just fold. I think getting 472 to win 568 with 7-deuce offsuit on a board like this, we probably have the best hand, or at least possibly, I guess I could say. But I think we'll give him the credit this time. All right, you got it, bud. Just limp call. I lose a quarter, whatever. You know, I liked our chances of that quarter's investment there. Big game hunting. that's this episode's name for sure. Episode number 203. Big game hunting. That's the episode in which JCarver goes from playing 100Ks to playing 25 cent, 50 cent, and tries to take this guy's lunch money. Yes, that's what we're doing here right now. Not the greatest turn card for our actual hand. Perhaps gives us bluffing opportunities, though. Let's bet out $1.50. Maybe he'll just fold. Boom. I mean, obviously, I don't think he necessarily folded a better hand than us, but we still might have avoided making a mistake. I think at this point he's got $5.10. I think we can just shove with a king in this spot. Can't be too bad. I've got a king. If it was live poker and I just saw the king, I would just be like, I'm all in. I wouldn't even need to see the other card, so kind of got to do that there, only this time we know the card is bad, so I guess we could have limped or been raised if we really wanted to. We could try to stab and win this pot, but I think I'm going to just give up. Our hand is so terrible that if we are called, we are in bad shape. Now everything is turned around. That is the nature of Hold'em. I feel like we have the best hand here, almost for sure. I'd like to bet the minimum that we have the best hand here. Let's see how he feels about that. He seems to agree we have the best hand, which is fine. Consensus is a beautiful thing. I'm going to min-raise this. I think our hand is strong enough to min-raise and then obviously call if he shoves. I feel like if he had if he had an ace in his hand, we would have heard about it pre-flop, so I'm not really worried about that. If he has an 8 in his hand, it's like, okay, congratulations, I'll give you $3 for your trouble. Looks like not. Oh, man, we're just ringing this guy. This guy is like, I guess we're going to call with Jack 7 offsuit. Like, how bad could it be? 260 to win 360? It's got to be fine mathematically. I guess maybe it wasn't against his exact hand. 8 of clubs dealer. Nice. Wow. 9 of clubs dealer. Wow. I thought I was going to magically do it there. I do feel like I have a very good ability at that. I have a Walt-esque ability to call for cards, I feel like, you know? That was exactly right. 8 of clubs, and the 8 of clubs just came. That's pretty strong. Anyway, we managed to lose a whole $2.50 at that table, or rather in that hand. I am going to try to find us a bit of a higher stakes place to go fishing. Dynamite fishing, like the real bosses, goblins. That's right. I guess we're going to fold that there. We are up $40. That's kind of sweet so far this session. This guy is in for 50 total, I believe, and he's lost most of that to me so far. Pretty good flop for us. Going to start at the check, give him a chance to bet. Not that he seems like he's the type to take us up on those things too often, but he does this case, which does mean to me he probably has something, but I still like our hand enough to check raise. And if he wants to get it in, oops, sorry. Didn't mean to, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go over here, but didn't mean to that time. Make it 150. It seems like he's still capable of calling. Yep, ace-9. Run the cards. Hold, baby. Let's go. King of clubs. Oh, fun card. Nice. That's right. Pair of 9s. 2 pair. 9s and 6s. Ace kicker. That's right. Just drag that pot in there. Do we have a contender or do we need to go hunting? All right. Reloading. That's right. That's the kind of fella I like to see. You can take my $5, but I'm just going to reach into my pocket and pull out some more. That's fine. That's why poker is great. You know, I'll win your money at the poker table. He goes back out and re-earns it. This is him earning it. I'm not sure what he's doing with this. Like some sort of like farming, paint brushing. I don't know. Something like that. He's dressed for the outdoors, clearly. Hoodie and everything. So I assume he's something like that. Nice little flop for us here. Going to start with the lead. I feel like there's a good chance that this particular opponent will fold a hand better than 10 high. He very well may fold a hand like queen high or king high, maybe even a hand like deuces or threes. Every once in a blue moon. Let's make it 101. Classic old school throwback raise size amount. Pretty good flop for us, all things considered. Him leading out for $1 does not really worry me too much. He definitely could have ace-x hands because, you know, at this point he could just call up them pre-flop. Certainly possible. But I have a 3 straight and king high, and those things are good enough for me to at least peel 1 on the flop. I think at this point I'll just fold. He definitely could have hands like ace-5. He did play one hand that was kind of like that. Before I got the recording going, where he showed up with ace-4 or something like that. That was that was how he won back some of the money that he initially lost to me. So definitely think it's possible that he has us beat in that spot. Obviously, we have king high, so it's not like it's too unlikely. Going to raise his hand up here with ace-6 offsuit on the button. If you're not much of a heads-up player, there are lots of things that you can do to become a better heads-up player, and I really feel like playing heads-up is a great way to get better at poker in general because you're forced to play so many pots. You're just, you know, the average hand strength is much lower. You're just forced to get in there and contest in pots you wouldn't have to fight for 9 or 8-handed. So I think heads-up is a great way to learn if you're just trying to get better at poker. In this hand, I think I'm actually going to peel. We have ace high. We actually beat some hands right now already. We can always turn an 8 or a 4 or a 6 or an ace, which would give us a good amount of equity. If he bets pot on the turn here, I'm going to be tempted just to fold. Certainly not going to fold for just 3. Now we can river an ace, a 6 maybe, a diamond maybe, an 8 or a 3 for sure. Let's see what happens now. Queen is not the one that we were looking for. We might have the best hand. We actually beat 8-9. Ace, no aces. We do beat 8-9, but I'm going to just fold here at this point. Can't do anything against a pot size bet on the river, but I feel like we didn't make any mistakes. You know, he check min raised flop. He has hands like 6-8, which we dominate very badly. He has hands like all the straight draws we dominate very badly. If he happens to have a hand that's like just top pair, so if he has a 7 or 5, something like that, it's fine. Our hand is okay against that. We can always hit an ace or turn a straight draw as we did. Nice little flop here. Actually, awesome flop for us here, because he can have all the kings, all the queens, all the hearts, all the jack-10s that he would ever want to have. Going to start by betting $2, kind of a giveaway. I guess it is a dead giveaway. He just knew. I should have bet $2.22, and then that would have just really been a dead giveaway, I guess. He knew it already. He just knew. I'm going to make a tight fold on the button here. You know what? You can open this hand. You could try to make money this hand, but I'm just going to say no thank you. 6-4 offsuit into the muck. I'll wait till the next time. We've been joined by a new player. Rick Moranis joins the table. Player name Fusen Tool. Sure. Pretty good flop for us. Middle pair, overcard, and he's checking. So all things considered, make me feel like we probably have the best hand here. I'd like to bet 75 cents that I have the best hand. Looks like he agrees with me that I do. 9 deuce offsuit, gonna just fold here. So if you're looking, now we're playing three-handed. It's a very different dynamic than heads up. I'm planning on opening about 80% of my buttons, maybe a little bit more. I have happened to fold 2, but you know, both of the hands I folded, 6-4 offsuit, 9-3 offsuit, are both very bad. But I'm planning on opening pretty much anything that has a paint card in it. You know, Jack-3 offsuit, I'm probably gonna raise that for the time being until either one of these guys gives me a reason to not do that. That's gonna be the plan. I feel like I have a much better read on the player to my left than I do on the new player to my right. I don't recognize the new player on my right at all. But my plan, blind versus blind, against the player on my left is probably going to be to play almost every single hand. I'm looking to limp a lot of small blinds. I'm not going to be looking to throw them away too much because it seems to me like our friend here with the hoodie is not really super contesty post-flop, which is great for me to play hands out of the small blind. Against him, we're going to be playing pots in position very often, and I'm not really worried about that because position is a wonderful thing. That's just true. 2 pair here, pretty sweet. Going to start with the bet. Hopefully our opponent decides to stick around. Not the greatest of turn cards, but I'm not worried. I'm not scared yet. Just yet. Don't be scared, homie. Looks like I was right not to be scared. Helps have a spade there, but I would have bet there without a spade anyway. Hand is just pretty good. Reno Aces joins the table. Not sure who that is. Looking great, though. Your hair just looks so nice. Nicki Minaj over there looks great. Welcome to the table. We needed some color and some light. Look at this. We've got a guy in a hoodie who looks grumpy as heck, and I understand why, because, you know, he's lost like 50 bucks. I'd be grumpy too. Then there's Rick Moranis over there who's looking dapper in the sweater from 1970s. And then there's us, the Leprechaun, and now we have Nicki Minaj. That's the lineup we've got for you today. Going to raise it up in the big blind with ace-8 suited. Certainly going to be the best hand. I mean, I guess not certainly, but seems pretty likely to be the best hand against our friend limping the button over there. Looks like we are right about that. What we're going to talk about? Talking about, oh, I don't know. I don't recall. Something about three-handed, two-handed poker. We'll remember. Flop the gut shot. Could lead. Oh, yeah. Reno Aces. That was what I was thinking about. I'm going to start with a lead here, $1. We'll be going back to Reno if you didn't join us the first time. We'll be doing a big run-up event in Reno later this year in October. I hope a bunch of you can join us. We had an awesome time last year. You guys will find out more about it to come. Don't worry. But I'm really excited for our next big run-up event happening in Reno later on this year in October. Stay tuned for details of that. But it is going to be absolutely awesome. I'm excited. I'm sure you're excited as well. Maybe you're somewhere between the level of me excitement and our friend behind me level of excitement. Somewhere between me is you guys at home, I think. I am the top, and that might be the bottom. Somewhere in the middle is the level of excitement I think the rest of you fall in. I'm going to just fold here. We could have the best hand. We beat 5-8, 8-9, and some spade draws, but I think folding is just fine. Pretty good hand here on the button. My plan is going to be to raise, certainly against the limp here. I think very often it ends up heads up or three-handed. Maybe the big blind peels, maybe just this guy peels. Maybe they all just fold and we just win $1.25. That's right. I'm going to go buy myself a fresh new chocolate milk. Holla! That's right. I haven't had chocolate milk since like 1982. Something like that, I think, give or take. Going to raise it up here under the gun with ace-jack offsuit. Button decides to everyone decides to call very quickly, I would even point out. Pretty good flop for us. Top pair, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, two backdoor. No, that's it. And the small blind decides to lead out. Nicki Minaj over there not messing around. I was going to do a Nicki Minaj impersonation, but I've never tried before, so I decided not to this time. Excellent choice of turn cards by the random number generator here as we have turned two pair. Aces and jacks, queen kicker. He bets a lot again. I'm not going to just call, I think. We could just call, but this is a very scary board. River could come a queen, a club, a king, a 10. All those cards that make me scared. Even a jack isn't great for him, probably. So I'm going to raise right here, right now. Going to just say, if you've got me beat, you've got ace queen, you've got king 10, you've got pocket fours, congratulations. Here's $40 for your service and troubles. Instead, he's drawing dead. Boom. That's right. Hello. Well, he had aces. He was right. He is from Reno. He had aces. We had aces up, though. That's right. Oh, Mr. Fix-It joins the table. Imagine if you had Mr. Fix-It show up at your house looking like the Spartan master chief. I would believe he could fix anything as well. I believe both of these guys just posted, and with ace queen of spades, I feel quite capable and certain in raising for straight up value. Instead, we win $1.25. It's just like taxing these guys. Pay me your $1.25. Table tax collection fee. I run my own rake over here. Ultimate Poker, Uncle Lorenzo, they have their rake, of course. They've got to have rake, you know? But then I have my own rake. It's the leprechaun tax. That's right. So in this hand, in this beautiful hand of poker, I believe this player min-raised, and then this player decided to min-re-raise. And I folded my 4-5 offsuit here on the button. Check back. Interesting play. Ace seems like it would be a good card for Rick Moranis over here. He decides to wager $2, and that takes it down. There you go. I was expecting more fascinating poker, and there really wasn't anything else fascinating after the flop action. Seems like a pretty fun game, though. I actually think this is one of the best games I've played in a long time for run-it-up sessions. Everybody here seems like they're at least a little bit on the creative side, which is always good. I like when everyone is creative. You know, we all get together, we take out our paper mache, we all put together our, you know, whatever you do with paper mache. That's great. Everybody loves paper mache. I actually don't think I ever did anything with paper mache as a kid because, you know, I don't really know, I guess, the real reason why. But my mother was never a fan. It was too messy. It's too messy. Don't bother. It's not really even a great impression of my mother. Check? Bet? I'm not sure what to do here. I decided to take the option of checking, but maybe I should have just bet, actually. At this point, I think my plan is to check call. If he hasn't really shown a propensity to bluff, but there's no way I can fold. All I've done is bet flop and then check down the rest of the way. I could have fours. I could have pocket fours and have the exact same hand I have right now. Getting 3-1 or play the same way I played this hand. Getting 3-1 on the river here. Certainly we lose a good percentage of the time, but I don't think we lose often enough that I can fold. Congratulations on your $3. Here you go. Here you go. $3. Yep. One. I didn't mean to hit the pink bell, but I'm sure he's thrilled. I actually have $3 in front of me, coincidentally, right now. Wow. Wow, that's right. I know you guys are like, holy shit, JCarver, you have $3. Fuck. That's right. That's what we're going to do with this. We're going to put him right in the bank. That's right. Where it belongs with the rest of the gold pieces over there. You know? I just needed a solid trophy, just, you know, something so people would know that it meant serious business. You know, I haven't had a new trophy in years. You know, just the old little. That's right, just the little World Series poker bracelet. No big deal. I haven't had another one of those or anything like it even for years, so I had to make my own. You know, that's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do in life. I don't know what's happened to this hand, but I have a feeling that I would not have played the hand the way that they have all played the hand. Possibly. That's possible. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't think I was going to win the hand, though. That's for sure. So having seen the hand we saw with Mrs. Minaj over there, getting it in with the ace-9, how does that impact things in the future? So she flopped top pair, bet pot, then the turn was a card, and she bet and then just didn't decide to fold. So I guess against that kind of player, we're going to want to make sure we have it when we put money in the pot against her, since she doesn't seem to want to fold the marginal hands, can't really seem to read spots where she'll be beat. And I think that'll mean we want to avoid having hands like King 3 are good examples. We want to avoid having hands that are easily dominated because we don't want to have spots where it comes like ace 8 deuce and we're getting it in with like ace 9 or like ace 7, ace 6. Like we want to have more clear value decisions against that kind of player. We want to re-raise with hands like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, because if she's calling with hands like ace 9, ace 8, ace 7, we really want to play those hands like ace jack as though they're ace king because she's calling us with hands that are worse very often, or so it seems like she might. You know, all we're doing is developing guesses, and that's what poker is. You got to be Sherlock Holmes over there, taking your clues and putting them together and then making your deductions, trying to be better at making educated guesses than your opponents. And the way you do that is by paying attention, right? Paying attention and just being a better machine, categorically storing the information as it enters the matrix yeah, that's right. Informational data points. That's right. Yeah. It was great. I mean, come on. It sounds so beautiful. It's like a web of intricate spinnings and things. But it's very true. Back to the point I was trying to make there, which I think there was a point there at some point. But trying to take out, you know, the difference between you and Phil Ivey, despite probably like I'm sure there are several differences, but the difference between Phil Ivey and you at a poker level is that I believe Phil Ivey is very, 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 very good at absorbing That's right. We all love a good absorbing. Yes. It's been a long time since I've got to do this with you guys. Yeah, it feels great, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, the difference between you and them is that Phil Ivey absorbs a whole lot more information than the average person. Not only is he able to see it and recognize information where you and I would not see information. So he sees a guy scratch his nose or tickle his ear in the middle of a pot and is like, I think that means that guy's weak, and then he raises and gets the guy to fold. Meanwhile, I just fold my hand because I don't ever see an ear scratch, or even if I do, I don't know what the heck that means, obviously. Not only is Phil good at finding it, but he's also good at correctly identifying what it means. And it's a matter of just, a matter of practice, experience, having been around for a while, knowing the game, having played a lot of hands. It's a combination of all those factors that give Ivy the experience to really properly categorize, sort, and then exploit that information. So he just knows that this player likes to do this, and he gets a feel for these things, and he's not right all the time, but because of all the information that he's able to absorb and incorporate into his decision-making process, he's able to be right far more often than most other people, and that's obviously more than enough in poker. This is an interesting spot. Our friend in the small blind just decides to bet 50 cents. That's the going rate to see a turn card here. I'm going to kick it up here a little bit because A, we could have the best hand. B, we're the most likely person to have a straight draw because we have 2 10s. So it's certainly possible if these guys have 10s, but if they have 10s, it's like 9, 10, 8, 10, and pocket 10s do great against those hands. So we possibly have the best hand already. If we don't, we have a lot of equity against whatever it is they have. I think I'm going to just limp here. I like raising this as well, but I think limping is cool. Maybe making it like a little bit more than a limp, like making it like 125. I've been doing this a little bit in the last few months and really kind of liking it. Because if this guy folds, we just buy the button for 75 cents more than a limp. And also the blinds sometimes will fold as well. Next thing you know, we're playing a pot 3 or 4-handed instead of 6-handed with, and people don't ever expect us to have king 5 of hearts. They're always like we win boards like this when we raise, not when we limp. Not that we always win on boards like this, but we are far, far, far more likely to win the pot. When you don't see any action, you cover up everybody else. When you see it come deuce, 7, deuce, who wins the pot? The guy who put in the last raise preflop typically wins boards like this. So they think I have hands like aces, 10s, 9s, 8s, 6s. Meanwhile, I have king 5 suited, and obviously we can still win sometimes on various turn cards. Turn card is an ace, a heart, a king, a 5. We might be able to win. So now the question is, do we bet twice or do we bet just once? He did limp under the gun. He was the first player to limp. He is the most likely player to have some sort of playable hand here. And I think I'm actually probably not going to bet here twice. But even if we don't win this hand, I still am by far the most likely player to have won that hand on the flop. And I believe, generally speaking, we didn't win this hand, it doesn't seem like to me. But I think that it doesn't necessarily mean that we didn't pilot ourselves into the most profitable situation here. If we had played this hand for a limp, there was no chance we would win this hand. We take a stab, he still calls. Doesn't make any sense, though. But I think as played, there's a chance this guy just folds hands like ace-jack straight away in the flop, although maybe not. But ace-jack, ace-queen, he just folds straight away. And if we play the hand just for a limp pre-flop, it doesn't work that way. Do I think 120 pre-flop is necessarily the exact right perfect sizing? No, I don't know that for sure, but it might be. And I think it's a matter of testing it and trying. Maybe 120 is too small. Maybe 150 is a little bit better to get the players behind us to fold. Now, this is awesome. Look how great this spot is. We're going to get to play, okay, I thought it was going to be heads up, but it'll be 3 ways to a flop. This is totally, I am so happy about this spot right now. Risking 1, 2 and 7, closing the action, deep stacked, in position. Let's see a flop. Let's do it. Okay flop, all in all. I mean, obviously not great. Not the best, but, you never like it when their flop matches their hair color. That's never a good sign. I'm going to start with a bet here. I'm going to bet 4? 5? Let's bet 5. Don't be a bitch, JCarver. Let's bet a red bird. All right, let's let that red bird. Let that red bird fly. Looks like we get quickly check min raised by Nicki Minaj, and then the Master Chief over there says, "I'm just calling." What is it? I don't care. I just call. Well, I mean, he could just have a single club, and he could just have like ace king, but that's a lot of things to parlay. Like, if that's the goal, that's a lot of like things to parlay into, then like hit the exact perfect parlay of him having only one club, him not having us beat. It's just too many things, and it's unlikely that we have the best hand. If we had a club, I'd probably stick around, but we bet $5, kind of ask the question, like, do we have the best hand? And if it goes fold, the answer is yes. If it goes call, the answer is no. When it goes min raise, his cold call, the answer to me is definitely no. Or probably, I guess the answer is like not bloody likely is the true answer here. It looks like this guy has to have the best hand. What? Yep. Three's full, bitch. Got him. How good was our hand there? We actually were ahead of one player, but not both players. So the guy who cold called twice, his cold call preflop is not great. Although, you know, that's why you make it bigger than 250 though, from as Nikki's spot. You know, we saw her make it 250, right? He limped for 50. I made it 150. She made it 250. He cold called in the big blind with pocket threes. So if she made it like 450 or 550, she would have actually won that pot. Instead, by making it smaller, she didn't really punish Mr. Fix-It for making that mistake with pocket threes and calling preflop. And he didn't really make a mistake. He, equity-wise, you know, his pocket threes are doing just fine against Jack 10 offsuit and Ace Queen offsuit. So he really didn't make a mistake by calling preflop, whereas he didn't, no matter what she would have raised, he wouldn't have made a mistake. But he does make a mistake if she makes it too big and he goes, okay, I just fold, she must have a decent hand. So if that had happened, she would have actually won the pot instead of him, and the universe as we know it would be entirely different. It's true. It's true. Well, looks like we've flopped nothing in this hand. I have paid 50 cents to do it, and we managed to flop a backdoor flush draw. Nope, sorry, rather a backdoor straight draw. Words are difficult things, generally speaking, you know? So we got a couple more minutes here in this session. There is no way I am quitting this session. This has been a fun session so far. Table seems good. Players seem fun. People are doing whole sorts of wacky and wonky things. And if there's two things I like in the world, it's wacky and wonky things. So definitely not going to quit here. We'll play at least one more session. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the return of Run It Up Season 2. If you want to rep Run It Up and say, you know what? You know what I am? Maybe I'm a person and a citizen of a country, and I'm sure I have friends and things. But you know what I am really? I'm a Run It Up warrior. I want to rep Team Run It Up. If that's you out there saying those things, and I appreciate it if that is you, you can go to runitup.com and buy yourself one of these sweet, sweet t-shirts. You can either get the crew neck version if you're a nun and you want to just walk around like this and that's it. And you can also get the big slutty V-necks as well if you are like me and want to be an enormous slut at all times. And you know, you can also see another great example there. If you have the chestoids, I think is what the muscle is called, to rock the slutty V-neck like our friend here, then you can do that as well. That's right. How would you guys feel if I hired somebody to actually sit in that seat and just like model the same exact setup that I had there, but I just had someone I just paid? It was like the Run It Up. So that I should sell tickets to be that person to be in that seat. You can't talk. You must wear the gas mask or whatever is the costume I have set out for you that day. You just have to chill out, guard the gold, guard the Run It Up bankroll effectively, sitting there in front of you. That's it. I should sell tickets. I could probably sell like a major Las Vegas show. $50 a seat at least. That's it. Could be rich. Selling $50 single seat. Sellout crowd, boys and girls. Run It Up does it again. Sellout crowd. The crowd of one. Oh, I appreciate you guys that aren't here. Maybe even more than those of you that would make the journey into this tiny little studio that we're doing this Run It Up stuff in right now. But it looks nice, right? It looks nice. We got a little fireplace going behind me that you guys can't really see because I'm blocking it. Got a nice little banner on the board, you know, beautiful board behind us. What more do you want in life, really? We're up $80 here, up to like, what is that now? 9 and, you know, math is hard. 930. Maybe we can be at 1,000 by the end of the session. What do I have to win? I have to win 150. So I got to win $70 more. Can we do it? I don't know. You'll have to come back next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right, one more orbit for this video, for the fans. I was thinking about wrapping it right there, but, you know, I can't do it. Can't do it. Let's do another orbit. Spin the wheel, see how it goes. Although our for the fan orbits historically have really not done too well. Hopefully this time we'll see if we can do a little bit better. Queen and Jack seems like a pretty solid hand, all things considered. The sock puppet starts us out with a big limp. It's nice to be a guy named Porterhouse and be a big limper. You know? Big Porterhouse. I limp all the time. All right. Certainly not going to fold here. Porterhouse could just wreck us all and punish me for my shit talking by re-raising us. Again, don't love the re-raise size. Could be a misclick actually as well. Let's see a flop for 150 to win a trillion. You know, he definitely should raise bigger if his intention is to raise, because again, nobody makes mistakes pre-flop. You know, think about what all of our percentages are pre-flop against whatever hand it is that he has. Nobody makes mistakes against you when you make it so small. Just like on this flop here, I'm not going to make a mistake. Whatever my equity is in this hand, maybe the queen is good, maybe the jack is good, maybe I'm dead to a backdoor straight draw, but I'm not making a mistake here. I'm going to call for my $2 to win 17. Like, you know, I'm not making mistakes here. If he bets 12 and truly has queen 10, I make a huge mistake by folding. Huge mistake. Yes. So at this point, the question is, do I have 6 outs? The answer is probably not. I would guess one of these guys has one of these outs covered, at least sometimes. So I probably have like 5 outs. And if that's true, I'm like 10, 12%, and I'm getting like 8 to 1. So don't think I have quite a good enough price to continue. Also, once in a while, this guy has like top set or something, and I'm drawing stone dead. So I think folding on the turn here is fine, despite getting a great price. Well, let's see these hands. I'm excited. These are going to be beautiful hands, I can only imagine. Now what? This is why we re-raise larger pre-flop, by the way. If we could just take a moment to learn the parable of the sock puppet and the pink or the green-haired rock star. The parable of the pink hair of the, I don't know why it's pink. She's not a pink-haired rock star as well. The green-haired rock star and the sock puppet. The first mistake you make is not to min re-raise pre-flop. If you're going to re-raise pre-flop, don't be a pussy. I'm not sure that was the reason why he didn't re-raise pre-flop bigger. Obviously, that's not the reason why. But maybe it was a misclick. Maybe he wanted to tarp us all. Maybe he was doing something unique and creative. We were talking a lot earlier today about doing something unique and creative and, you know, testing out different things. And maybe that works really well. I don't really know for sure. In seriousness, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not. But I think, traditionally speaking, when you see people do things that are outside the box, they're either like brilliant genius wizards who are on the next level exploring depths of the poker universe matrix that have not been explored before. So there could be that, or they could just be bad. So typically speaking, when it's one or the other, when you see things, you know, you should obviously approach them with some amount of skepticism. But for the majority of people, including me, I'm very, very hesitant to say, oh, that's bad, because you never know. I think it's a bad habit to get into, to always just be like, oh, what I do is right because I do the best thing. Like, what? Like, you don't want to have that logical circle that just kind of self-feeds, and the only way to really avoid that is to have as many open spots in that logic loop so you can have new information coming in and checking it and testing it and talking with friends and learning and improving and, you know, all these things. God, we've had such a diversity of things in this episode. This episode has been all over the place. We've had poker talking and learning and all sorts of things. It's been a cornucopia of run-it-up goodness today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, let me know in the comments below. You also let me know on Twitter at Jason Somerville. You can see that beautiful little Twitter graffiti thing over there. It took me 23 hours to draw that, exactly as you see it. It was a bit of a task, but it looks beautiful. And if you enjoy the board looking as nice as it looks, you should let me know over on the Twitters, twitter.com/Jason Somerville, facebook.com/JCarverPoker, Instagram.com/JCarverPoker. Let's throw Instagram in there as well. I'm going to be the full slut right now. No full screen because we're in the middle of the session. But I'm going to be back tomorrow. Going to continue this episode right where we left off, right here, right now. Let's see if we can't win another $75. Break us over the 1K mark. Getting that rocket ship. Get us started off nice and strong for this run-it-up journey. Season 2. Thanks so much for watching as always, guys. I will see you back for more tomorrow with 9-6 offsuit. Peace. Like that? Yeah. Nice relaxing breeze of waves of hands. Obviously, you can also call us with hands that beat us, but I'm not worried about that. But JCarver, what about all the hands that beat us? Don't be so negative. What are you worried about? Stop your worrying.